Hello, Rambler fans, and welcome to another edition of the Superintendent Corner starring Scott Acom. Scott, I don't know if you knew this, but yesterday in the mail, I got my kid's report card, and it showed me what he got in each of the classes, comments, and stuff like that. But my understanding that was not the only report cards going out lately, is it?
It is not. The state of Michigan, the Michigan Department of Education, recently has released the report cards for school districts for the 21-22 school year. And I'm very pleased to say that McBain Schools has done quite well on their report cards. And as a matter of fact, the middle school and high school both have been named as reward schools by the Michigan Department of Education by how they're outperforming their peers on the state assessment, the MSTEP and the SAT.
You know, being selfish, being a teacher, I'm really glad that you got that information out because, again, yesterday there was an article in the the Detroit Free Press, talking about learning loss due to COVID. And then this morning, 9 and 10 had a story about the dropping scores nationally in Michigan compared to everyone else. And everything sounds like it's doom and gloom in the state of Michigan, but in McBain, that's not the case.
That is not the case. McBain is scoring very well. As I've said before, I don't like to use the word learning loss. I like to use the word that we've got a gap in our learning. And the staff and teachers have done an excellent job of filling those gaps that students had missed over the pandemic. And just this past year through our test scores, it shows.
So, that a big pat on the back to the teachers, the administration, and the parents that help keep their kids on task. The community should be very proud of the report card. So that's more than just one person. That is a whole community.
Correct.
All right. Speaking of community, tomorrow you're going to have a little community meeting.
Yes, tomorrow, Thursday, January 12th, we're going to have a bond sinking fund informational meeting at 7 o'clock in the Performing Arts Center. This is an opportunity for the community to come in and see what the district has been working on over the past year as far as what we need, what we're potentially asking the community for to meet our needs. As you know, the last couple of years before the pandemic, a couple bond requests have failed. Yep. So we're looking at taking a different approach to meeting the needs of the district for our students rather than just a bond passage. We're looking at a bond and a sinking fund.
All right. Help clear that for me. Speak to me like I'm a third grader. Sure. Bond, sinking fund. What's the difference?
Yep. So a bond is something that you go out to the voters. They approve through the election process. If the voters approve a bond pass, we collect and we sell bonds out to others. And it's like borrowing money. We're borrowing money up front, collecting the millage to pay that loan back. So a bond is essentially a loan. A sinking fund is a pay-as-you-go process. A sinking fund is where the district collects the millage itself from the townships. They collect it and they're able to use that money to pay for projects as they go. So that is more of a savings account. So look at it as a bond as a loan. A sinking fund is a savings account. And the district is looking at utilizing both because there are limitations on what you can use monies for as a sinking fund compared to a bond. When we looked at the needs and looked at just for a bond proposal for 20 some years, we would be asking the community to pay close to over $7 million in interest.
Oh, wow.
So we looked at what can we do differently. So we'll be looking at asking for a small bond proposal and a larger sinking fund so that we don't have those interest payments.
Now there's another way to get out of this financial thing too, right?
Yes.
Just so we talked about this yesterday, but I do want to let you know the Powerball did not hit last night. So if anybody in the McBain community wants to buy that Powerball, which should be almost $1.8 billion, though I did find out it's only going to be $900 million payout immediately. I don't know how anyone could live on that.
That's too bad.
But if you do win the Powerball, you can give the money to the school, and then we can save more than just $7 million.
That would be a great benefit to our kids, to the community. I would have to talk to the school finance attorneys about that just to make sure it's all on the up and up.
All right.
But that would be a nice donation to receive.
That would be excellent donation. So just putting a little bug in your ear if you win the Powerball. So, sinking fun. We got a meeting tomorrow night. Huge event coming up on the 27th of the month.
Yes. Our homecoming, McBain's homecoming is coming up on the 27th. Great festivities for that. Always a great turnout. And this year we also have a taco dinner before the game for our band Disney trip fundraiser. Band's able to go to Disney again this year after a couple of years hiatus for things out of their control, but raising funds so our students are able to go and perform at Walt Disney World. So taco dinner before the homecoming event.
All right, and that'll be on the 27th as the McBain Lady Ramblers will open up the action at 5:30 against the Beale City Aggies, and then immediately following that, you will have the boys who Beale City did beat the McBain boys, so there's going to be a revenge factor on this one. This is going to be extra spicy. You want to have your spicy taco dinner, then you can have an extra spicy game afterwards. And of course, we're going to have our homecoming court ceremony immediately following that game. So big night. You might want to start planning your calendar around that because homecoming is on its way.
Maybe we should sell some antacids at the concession stand. That might help with some
our
of the
fundraiser
profits.
there.
Yeah.
All right. So before we go, dad joke?
Oh goodness. Put me on the spot there. Ah, goodness. Well, what did the snowman say to the snow woman?
I don't know.
I only have ice for you.
Oh. On that note, this has been Scott Acom. I'm Gary Vanna. Feel the wheel.